Hello everyone, welcome to Ganesh sir classes. This is your Ganesh sir. So, in the continuous series of videos, this is the third part of the lesson locating the places on the So, in this video, we will going to discuss about the mapping the earth. Mapping the earth. So to map the earth or to measure the earth, it's not easy. It's a difficult process because the shape of the earth nearly sphere. Nearly sphere or spherical. So why use the word nearly sphere or spherical? Because at poles it has flattened and at equator it has bulged. So what is this mean? It means, suppose you can take, you just imagine this is the shape of the earth. Shape of the earth. This earth, on this earth, this is the equator. Right? This is the known as North Pole. This is known as South Pole. Right? So on this earth, these poles are, here the poles are, is a flattened shape. It is flattened. And at equator, it is bulging. It is bulging shape at equator. So due to this particular shape, we call as nearly sphere or spherical. However, the earth we used to call as a sphere shape. Sphere. Right? Basically, to represent the earth, so we use a sphere-shaped metal object, which was pasted the map of the world, that is called as globe. So globe is nothing but the accurate model of the earth. So the shape of the earth like a sphere shape, the sphere shaped object which was made up of any metal or plastic. On it, suppose we have pasted a map of the world, that is called as globe. So the globe is the accurate representation of the earth. So the model of the earth is nothing but globe. Globe is called as model of the earth. Right? So it means, take a globe, you can rotate the globe. The globe itself rotates. While rotating, the sphere itself rotates. The two poles are constant. So that means the poles are flattened and the equatorial areas are bulged. So the earth is known as the model of the, so the globe is known as the model of the earth. Right? Let's see. So how we can measure the earth. we can measure the Earth by using map the Earth. We can mapping the Earth by using coordinates. So by using coordinates we can measure the Earth. So now the question is, what is coordinates? What is coordinates? So coordinates is nothing but which indicates a particular direction. For example, you can take a chessboard. See, we go to the in the chessboard. You can see there are how many? 64 blocks. In the chessboard, there are 64 blocks. Right? So it was represented like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So vertical. And the horizontal lines are represented A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H. Right? So the each square in this chessboard represents coordinates. The coordinates are represented. For example, take this example. Here there is a palm here. It is a location, present location of this palm is D2. It has two movements from here to here. Now its present location is from D2 to, it is shifted to D4. So that's what in this way we can say the ball is said to have moved from D to D4. The D to D4 are called as coordinates. The D to D4 are called as coordinates. Okay? So like the same way on the Earth we have different coordinates. So this is the Earth. On this Earth we have some number of coordinates. Those are like these are the latitudes, and this one is longitudes. Latitudes and longitudes. So these latitudes and longitudes makes different squares or the different grids. So these are these latitudes and longitudes known as coordinates. Coordinates on the map. So with the help of these latitudes and longitudes, we can, with the help of latitudes and longitudes, we can measure the Earth. We can map the Earth, or we can look at the place on the map. So let us come to detailing about this latitude. So the latitudes are the horizontal imaginary lines. The horizontal imaginary lines on the map or a globe we call as latitude. The horizontal imaginary lines on the map or a globe is called as latitudes. So these latitudes also known as parallels. They are actually also known as parallels. It's also called as circles. The latitude known as parallels, called as circles, and it's also called as the horizontal lines The horizontal imaginary lines on the earth is called as latitudes. Let's see. Just imagine this is the earth. So here the 0 degree latitude, which is called as equator. So this equator divides the earth into two parts. From here to here, this is 90 degree, 90 degree. Here also 90 degree. So from here to here, this is divides called as northern hemisphere. Northern hemisphere. And this area 0 to 90 south and southern side, this is called as southern hemisphere. Right? So around the earth there are n number of circles over there. N number of circles. These are called as latitudes. So these latitudes of these circles are parallel to each other. So that the latitudes also called as parallel lines. The latitude is called as parallel lines. So from equator to moving towards the poles, the size of the circle reduces. From equator to moving towards the poles, the size of the circle will be reduced. And these latitudes can be represented measured by using the units called as degrees. So this is the degree, 10 degree. 1 degree, 2 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 90 degree, etc. So this is the symbol represents degree. We can measure the latitudes by using a measurement which is called as using a unit which is called as degrees. So from equator to going towards poles, if you moving away from the equator, the latitude degree increases. For example, this is 0 degree, this is maybe 20 degree, this is maybe 40 degree, this is maybe 60 degree, this is maybe 80 degree, this is 90 degree. So moving away from the equator, the degree of the latitude increases, but the size of the circle decreases. So the degree of the latitude increases, the size of the circle will be decreases. Right? So this is about latitude. And there is a connection between latitudes and climate. There is a connection between latitude and climate. For example, you can see here. So based on this, see this is Mother Earth. So this is the Earth. So this is the equator. This is the tropics, and this is the pole. North pole, south pole, 0 degree. So moving away from the equator towards poles, the temperature decreases. So based on that, so we can divide the earth into 3 heat zones or hot zones. One is called, it is divided into 3 hot zones. Around the equator area, which is called as torrid zone, because there the temperature is very high. Due to high temperature, this is called as torrid zone. Torrid zone. Very close to this area, close to trophic areas, tropic of Capricorn and tropic of Cancer. In this area, this zone is called as temperate zone. This zone is known as temperate zone. Temperate zone. Right? Very close to polar areas. Close to polar area. So this zone is called as Fraser zone. Close to polar area, this zone is called as Fraser zone. Fraser zone. So it means there is a connection between latitudes and climate. From equator to moving away from equator or moving towards poles, the temperature decreases. So around the equatorial area, there is a high temperature that is called hot zone, that is called torrid zone. Around the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, tropics area, so one kind of hot zone is there, that is called temperate zone. Close to polar region, another kind of heat zone you can be seen, that is called as cool area, that is called as Fraser zone. So this is about latitudes and the connection between latitude and climate. The next video we will going to discuss about this longitudes.